Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Urbanism Spinning. Last week I made a video on how can we make our city sustainable and people friendly. And if you haven't watched that video, I will recommend you to check that out too. This video is the continuation of sustainable and people friendly city in which I will be discussing next 5 points. So let's get started. Firstly, we will be discussing about efficient public transportation. So, efficient public transportation is necessary in a city, and good public transportation facilities improve the image of the city. Public transportation is a cost-effective mode of transportation. More use of transportation facilities will decrease usage of cars, and this decrease in car usage will cause less pollution to the environment and reduce congestion on the roads. Hence, who doesn't want a cleaner air to breathe in? In fact, it even becomes convenient for tourists to use public transportation when they have to move around the city. And public transportation is considered to be safer mode of travel as compared to the driving on your own. It is even linked to a healthier lifestyle and also contributes financial benefits to communities. But all this is only possible if our government takes initiative of providing efficient public transportation facilities to its citizens, and the citizens on the other hand make best use of it. Let's jump to the second point. Second point is sidewalks. Now you will be wondering how sidewalks helps in making cities sustainable and people friendly. There is a famous quote by Margaret Mead which states that any town that doesn't have sidewalks doesn't love its children. Sidewalks are linked with walkability. These days we are eliminating sidewalks to increase parking areas. But are we doing good? This way we are making cities less pedestrian friendly. Sidewalks increases walkability, make people less dependent on cars, improves air quality and also act as safe mode for children to walk on. Because of walkability factor, sidewalks improve mental and physical health of citizens too. When we make attractive, shaded and clean sidewalks with adequate street furniture, people enjoy walking. While walking, we meet neighbors or our friends, which also results in increasing social interaction among people. So guys, next point is concerned with the preservation. Preservation of green areas and sidewalks. According to me, strict policies should be made against removal of green areas or sidewalks to provide parking spaces. Like, why are we doing that? A city or a neighborhood in it made for people or cars? Actually, this may seem a small step, but when looked at it holistically, this is not good for our environment. Cutting down trees to increase width of the roads or developing on land which was green area is harm to the environment, utter harm to the environment. And blindly concrete jungles are formed which causes urban heat island effect. Like, why? If we don't start taking measures for this heat island effect will keep increasing the microclimate of any particular area and the climate in whole. Whether you are an urbanist or not, we all have a role to play in preserving our environment. Second last point which I would like to cover is community participation. Community participation is the active involvement of people from communities to get the maximum benefit for the whole society. I really believe that it should be mandatory. Actually, it happens when we involve people, they tend to become more aware of what is going to develop around them. People start caring for the place they are living. An amazing benefit of community participation is that it helps in getting more perspectives. It even improves urban development through use of local knowledge. So guys, in this context, I would like to say that architecture or urbanism does not only belong to people who study it. We learn everything in it for the people and the environment. Hence, it belongs to the general public too, who are the users of what we create. I don't know if you are an urbanist or not, start taking interest in what is building around you. So last point which I want to cover is related to the culture of a particular place. That is cultural identity or regional identity. In urban development, regional identity is the feeling of being at home or belonging to an area at the meso scale. Every region has some cultural values because of which its art and architecture are defined. These days, we are seeing the loss of this regional identity. Let me explain it to you with an example. Architecturally and generally in the past, regions had distinct characteristics defined by such availability of only local materials and history of only local forms and building methods. This gave local architecture a regional identity unique to itself. So what is happening now that everywhere around the world, glass-skinned buildings are developed. They look alike. We actually cannot spot the difference that which building belongs to which city or state. And this is not a sustainable practice. It is destroying image of the city and cultural identity of a region, also causing harm to the environment. The modernity has hit us so hard that we have forgotten our roots. Therefore, it is important to accept technological advancement, but we should not forget our roots. Therefore, a new approach should be kept forward using our past values. I will see you guys next week with another amazing topic. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends and make them aware too. For future posts, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. Till then, bye guys, take care.